What's going on, y'all? Yeah, we're gonna get some more self-farming going here. If I can find some, you know what I mean? It's definitely not the same as it used to be, but we're definitely gonna be getting some going. Starting with Tripster, as you know, we gotta highlight him because he's being a complete empty head. You get what I mean? Literally grifting against Nintendo again too much, and also grifting against Xbox. He does that, but then he overglosses PlayStation only, and then he tries to overglorify the Steam Deck, but not realizing that the Switch 2 is a lot more powerful than it. And there's nothing wrong with the Steam Deck. There's something wrong with his brain. And I think everybody knows this. It's just his points lately. It's like, dude, you're losing IQ points and you need to stop. So let's start off with some posts here. Okay, John right here says, it's kind of like Nintendo uses art directions that look good over multiple generations, right? And they do a good job with that, because look at Mario Kart World. It blows away Sonic Crossing Worlds when it comes to animation, and that's on way more powerful consoles. The animation in Pixar level of Mario Kart World is mind-blowing. Metroid Prime 4, Digital Foundry put that in their top 10 most impressive graphical games of 2025. And that's a Switch 1 game being maxed out over there because they did such a good job with the engine. I don't care if it's lashing. If the engine is good enough, it can scale and look really good. Like, look at what Ghost of Yotei is doing. And I'm saying that from any platform, from any game, because I'm not biased. I'm honest. Tripster is a Sony load sucker. Let's just say it. He keeps tripping over on Sony's cock. You gotta get it out of your mouth a little bit, Tripster. Okay? So going over here to the next comment. Closeted Xbot, kind of rude. As always, defending Xbox. Fanboy still crying about not winning awards, said... totally not retro here. And Tripster's like, oh no, PlayStation 1, Xbox games are PlayStation games now. It's like, dude, this isn't anything new. It's the same thing that EA's doing, same thing Ubisoft's been doing. They're now putting their games out more, and they're branching out. We've already gotten past that. But like I said, with Tripster, he has to wake up every single day and grift against Xbox and massively grift against Nintendo. Almost like he's secretly obsessed with them, but he doesn't want to admit it. That if nobody was watching, and the whole world didn't know about all his Twitter posts, he would secretly want to have his Switch 2 and realize that it's a better handheld than the Steam Deck. There's nothing wrong with the Steam Deck, but it's born out of the shadow of the Switch's success, like all the other handhelds. And the Switch 2 screen is bigger, it's more powerful, it can be docked to be a lot more powerful, and it has its own games. This is not beating down Steam Deck. No, this is literally saying that, why are you doing this? Because it just makes you look dumb. Like, just stop and enjoy everything for what it is. But no, Tripster has to go very far consistently. And I don't understand the comment. I mean, talking about closeted Xbox, I mean, the guy's such a clown, man. That's why AGN's over here putting him in his place. That's right, Tripster, you can go ahead and get in your feelings. It's okay. You're not going to be able to do anything about it. I've never seen you reply. He just goes on his anti-Nintendo grift like crazy, and also stomping on Xbox way too much. I mean, I've had my criticizing, and I went on my spree, but I don't keep going because it's like, no, that's how I felt at that moment. Now it's out. I can't keep like doing that, you know what I mean? It's not what I originally wanted to do anyways. I was just mad at Microsoft, but there's no reason to continue to do that. Now going over to the next post, Tripster says this is the future of Xbox, and he's basically trying to say it's on PlayStation. Well, the guy, hey, look, bro, you don't even need to say it. The homeboy put on that T-shirt. But like I said, what this is going to do is this is going to strengthen Microsoft's publishing, which is what they need to do, become a powerful publisher and have really good IPs and make sure the ports are not crappy and that there's an even synchronicity across all platforms. So no matter where you're going, you get to play Xbox published games. And if it's on the PS5 Pro, they don't really care because you're getting sales there just like they're getting sales on Steam. Obviously, I've always been with that. I'm not going to be a hypocrite about that. I was criticizing Microsoft for other things. But basically, this is what I mean. Like, if you look at this guy's Twitter, it's actually funny to laugh at. You know, I don't take him serious because it's always against Xbox, and lately it is massively against Nintendo. We got some more Nintendo posts to get to. So, this is not bad to me. Halo having a high player pool to play co-op with online. Same thing with Fable and Gears and Forza. These are all online games. I'm going to be able to have bigger communities. Why is that a bad thing? Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? That I don't see that being bad. But of course, Tripster has to mock, but he will not say anything negative against PlayStation. Guys, are we ready to go down through this page? This is funny to me. Let's keep going. Okay, AR is crazy. I did this in my Metacritic now too. Go, okay, this is okay. Look, this looks clean. Enjoy greatness, because he has an inferiority complexity against Nintendo, so he has to grift against them by saying that. But he never says nothing negative about the Steam Deck, which is weird. How do you think it was born? And this person right here says there's only one game that didn't deserve to be here, and he says, yeah, we know it's Zelda. When we go down to game of the year aspects, I mean, Tripster, are we serious here? That's, you know, like I said, 97 meta, I mean, set the standard for a lot of things. Genshin Impact was born out of that. A lot of other things were born out of it. Zelda has always been peak for gaming and has done so much for the gaming development for a very long time. But of course, you want to keep hating because, like I said, you have a hate boner for Nintendo. And you like to suck on those rainbow balls of Sony. So, going down again, we see Crap Gamer is an Xbox fanboy because this guy was saying something. Well, the ponies don't really seem to care about Wolverine or Saros. I think they do. No wonder there are no more Sony first-party games. Why bother when nobody's buying them anyways? And he said this about Crap Gamer, right? 2026 is going to be crazy. 32nd anniversary for PlayStation, right? And then he says Crap Gamer is an Xbox fanboy. So he has to say something about Xbox here. Okay, so here let's keep going, though. This is what he said. Returnal is such an underrated game. Everybody should play it. Here comes Tripster. If Returnal looks this good, can't imagine how much better Saros is going to look next year. I can see another Game of the Year contender incoming. Returnal is such an underrated game. It was robbed of Game of the Year. So he is such a Sony pony. He believes that Returnal should have won Game of the Year. I'm sorry, Returnal's good, but it was not going to win Game of the Year, no matter what. See, this is what I mean by like this weird bias, where he is gaslighting so much against Xbox and Nintendo that he can't realize in front of everybody in the whole world that it's pretty obvious that he's so much of a pony that he's tripping all over up on Sony just like that. You know what I mean? It's really bad because there's nothing wrong with loving PlayStation. Hey, I got my PS5 Pro. I play all consoles, but there's something wrong with extreme fanboyism, and Tripster shows it way too much. And I don't even think he's aware because he's so obsessed with Sony. Yeah, bro. Step back a little bit. Pony. Sit down, Pony. That's what we have to do. We got to tell him again, guys. Ponies, sit down. I haven't done this in a while, but we're going to do it again because this pony is getting out of control. There's nothing wrong with PlayStation gamers. There's nothing wrong with Xbox gamers. There's nothing wrong with Nintendo gamers. There's nothing wrong with Steam players or Steam gamers or PC gamers, Epic gamers, whatever. You know what I mean? God gamers. There's something wrong with extreme fanboyism like this. It's clearly showing you everything right there. Let's keep going down. Good. Keep it that way from the Switch 2, LMO, right? We've been working quietly for 4 years on something new, and we're very excited to finally show you. High Guard, right? This guy says, good, keep it away from Switch 2, bro. Nintendo fanboy mad the next biggest multiplayer game is skipping the Switch 2. I'm sorry, but High Guard looks mediocre. I'm not interested in it. You know damn well we would be singing a different tune if it was announced on the Switch 2. I wouldn't care. I would. I don't think a lot of people would, who wants to play it. That's what you're doing with Sony right now, dude. I wrote credits on more games this year than probably the past 5 years combined. I attribute that to Nintendo Switch 2. Really reignited my passion for gaming. So he's enjoying gaming. What's wrong with that? But Tripster has to go and do this. Well, really, you do that for Sony every single day, bro. So here we go again. Enjoy Game of the Year winner in Game Awards so far. PlayStation has the most winners. PlayStation is king. There he is again. He's a pony. See what I mean? Let's just keep looking. PlayStation money spread. She's living her best life because she's on PlayStation. You see what I mean? It has to be positive for PlayStation and negative for Nintendo and negative for Xbox with this guy. Which is, you know what I mean? This is why I have to highlight this, dude. Sit down. PlayStation money spread. You see what I mean? Everything PlayStation here, right? We see it, right? The future of Xbox, PlayStation. We need to end hyperrealism in games. How about no? Xbox community celebrating Xbox Expedition 33 for winning Game of the Year because they got the experience on Game Pass. This is embarrassing for Xbox. So you're not seeing anything positive for Xbox or Nintendo, only for PlayStation. Color Expedition 33 is now officially Steam Deck verified. Devs claims this was done as a thank you to the fans, which means it's going to be on the Switch 2 and run better. But of course, he does this because he has a problem with Nintendo. I'm telling you, this is the only reason he's doing this. Otherwise, it's all Sony. Apparently, Bethesda's having problems running Skyrim on the Switch 2. Guys, do we really believe this? This is what I mean by, like, you're slow, Tripster, because PlayStation 4 can run that game at 60 frames per second. So can Xbox One. Bethesda was just being lazy, wanted to do a cash grab. and sell it at $59.99. The game that is released 100 times, you're probably going to come on a toaster and your car coming next and maybe the refrigerator with AI. You know what I mean? But of course, Tripster has to make it look negative only. Do you really think this is a problem when you got games like Resident Evil Requiem coming on the Switch 2? No problem. Games like Chronos the New Dawn, games like Star Wars Outlaws. All these big games are coming to Switch 2 now. We've seen it from Capcom, from Square Enix, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, even the last one, the third one is going to be on there. No, this is Bethesda being lazy. Then here he goes again, 30 frames per second versus 60, because Pragmata's coming to Switch 2. Dude, they have to compromise, but he wants to do this. But it's like, do you know the difference in math? Apparently Tripster can't do math, guys. We got to help him out here. He's such a grifter. Here it is again. It seems perfect, right? But we're talking about yet another game key card. I mean, dude, like I said, man, when it comes to Steam, when it comes to Xbox, when it comes to dude, it's been there. You know what I mean? This isn't nothing new. This is a publishing decision. Nintendo is the one that preserves first party, and they sell the most physical copies. Once again, sit down, pony. Powerful continues to show last-gen games. So you're mad because PlayStation doesn't get Dustblood, and then Nintendo gets PlayStation games now. And Sony doesn't have third-party market share anymore. They dropped the price by $200, still got destroyed in Japan. They dropped the price over here for a month straight too, because Nintendo is giving them competition and they're holding the records, and you're still hating because you're a pony and you only want Sony to win with your ideology of Steam Deck looking great, because you can't give Nintendo Switch 2 credit, honestly, because you just have issues. It's okay, bro. Sit down. Like I said, get the load out of your mouth. All right, so, and then, guys, this is the funny thing. All right, we know how much more powerful the Switch is than the Steam Deck, right? Definitely docked. But we go down here, Pragmata, the texture quality is super high on the Steam Deck. OLED looks insane, but he's glorifying it. This doesn't make sense. See, this is not about me beating down the Steam Deck. This is about this understanding that graphically and mathematically, the Switch 2 is superior as a handheld, and it could be docked to be a lot more powerful and be just as good as the Series S. This is insane to me. This is what I mean. When you want to do this, be intelligent, but he's not. He's such an obnoxious fanboy that he can't see it. Nintendo actually updated the HDR. It's bad to make HDR better. Useless update, right? So Tripster speaking for the whole Nintendo base. Guys, you see what I mean? Watch this. Oh no, Death Stranding. Oh no, Walking Simulator 2 lost to the game of the decade. If you still think Death Stranding is a walking simulator, you're not a real gamer. To some people, it might be. Some people were doing FedEx memes with it. Not everybody can finish that game. I enjoyed it. I'm going to play Death Stranding too. See, I'm not a hater. But of course, you have to defend anything Sony, and you say nothing negative about them. You don't criticize them at all. So we got the real Dre down here saying, there isn't one game on PS2 that looks better than the GameCube version. Where do your lies end? GameCube was more powerful, and they did look better. You're the one that's wrong. See what I mean? This guy is all about lies in a fantasy. He lives in a fantasy land. He can't wake up. It has to be against Xbox, has to be against Xbox, has to be against Nintendo, and PlayStation has to look positive. Remember how Xbox used to say awards don't matter? Now all of a sudden they do. Also, this confirms he didn't watch the show, because he tried to say that Xbox had those awards, Nintendo and Sony got what they got. But the point is that, the point is that you cannot give credit to anything but PlayStation and your ideology of Steam Deck because of the Nintendo Switch grift. Because he can't do it. It'll make him look bad. Even though he's making himself look bad enough already. Boy, I tell you guys, this guy right here, now he's hating on Metroid Prime 4. Now he's talking about key cards. He says nothing about PlayStation, though. Closeted Xbox, as we said, right there again. You see? Nintendo's irrelevant these days. That's kind of funny. Man, boy, this guy is just going too... This guy's going too far. Oh, man. Guys, I don't know what else to say. Now Metacritic scores don't matter to him. How convenient. Oh, Tripster, don't even get me started. You're just hating. If he does this, Nintendo Switch 2 DRAM prices increase. So you think it's funny that people have to pay more and the consumer's getting priced out? These damn ponies, man. Toxic ponies, by the way. There's nothing wrong with being a PlayStation fanboy. There's nothing wrong with being a fanboy at all. Some fanboys could be cool. They got their whole room full of PlayStation stuff and we can hang out and it's no problem. And I can run into a Nintendo fanboy and they're nice and you can have a good life. No, it's the toxic fanboys like Tripster that are the problem in this industry. You see? Somehow this is funny. Dude, that's not funny. None of this RAM stuff, consumers getting priced, not funny. I don't think it's funny. So, you see what I mean though? Yeah, I mean everything against Nintendo. Game looks insane. Okay, yeah, it actually does. But there's nothing here against PlayStation. That's why I had to scroll down for you guys. But this looks amazing on the OLED, but it's bad that it's coming to the Switch too, though. Day one by everything about PlayStation. Everything about PlayStation. Everything against Nintendo and Xbox. I don't see anything here criticizing Sony. That's crazy. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. Ponies, sit down. Toxic ponies. PlayStation gamers, keep gaming. PlayStation is amazing. Xbox Game Pass is going to be amazing next year along with their first-party publishing. Nintendo is going to continue to be amazing and continue to break records. But I tell you what, this organic algorithm is being interrupted heavily, and it sucks. And I don't like it because I really want to see natural results here. You guys enjoy what you enjoy. You know I've always said that. If you're having a good time on Xbox, I'm not there to beat that down. I only criticize and attack Microsoft's greed. If you're having a good time on Nintendo, why would I beat that down? If you're having a good time on PlayStation, why would I beat that down? No, we're coming after the fanboys. Later, y'all. Tripster, stop tripping up over yourself, bro.